Later on, a low of 31. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
It's low. Couple fakes going. Wide open in the end zone. It is. Melted as he gets the feet down. He is. Touchdown. It's low. Far side. Throws complete. Caught for the touchdown. Tucker Kraft. And the pack back in front. Carlson. No. Wide left. And a big miss for the young kicker. McCaffrey scores! 49ers in front! Pressure up the middle. Runs away. Throws across his body! And that is picked! 49ers have it! Greenlaw! San Francisco takes over!
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Part of the reason it stings so bad right now is we fully believed and fully expected to win this game.
Like you said, had an opportunity to win that game and, didn't capitalize on it. So it's a tough way to end the season.
It's a young group that there's a lot of promise for the future, but nothing's guaranteed, and our guys are going to have to attack this offseason.
Everyone in the locker room is definitely motivated to get back after it and get ready for next season.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running.
Well, I guess we have to retire the Todd Rundgren for the season, Joshy.
Put it on ice.
What is it, dry ice?
Throw it in the freezer.
Yeah, there we go. I got
back
a deep
corner
freezer.
of the freezer. Throw it back corner of the freezer. Forget about it until
everybody in Wisconsin has
September.
A deep freeze, right? Nope. Where else do you put? Nope. How about everybody who owns a home has a deep freeze? Is that
I have
fair?
to buy one of those? Is that what you're saying?
You will. You don't have to, but you will.
I'll go as far as to say everybody has a second fridge, usually, if they own a home.
That's a very good point.
With a freezer where stuff gets started.
So we're putting the old Todd Rundgren on ice, as Chewy says. Do we have any alternatives? Do we have any other options, Joshy, for something we could play this morning that is representative of the situation we're in? Oh.
A little closing time.
Yeah, I guess this could work.
This is a great song.
Is it?
Is it?
Yeah, it's a fantastic song.
When it comes on at the bar, when it's closing time, the lights go on.
Yeah, but that's just Pavlovian, right? Like when you hear those first few notes of closing time, well, better go.
It's a great sing-along, too. Everyone knows it.
And listen, we collectively are not going to be doing any sing-alongs anytime soon. And whoever pushed that video out on social of Gabe and I singing, quote unquote, Mr. Jones.
No, we definitely were singing.
They are on my list. They are on my list.
We were singing.
All right, so closing time is the theme of today as the Packers season ends abruptly and I think a little prematurely, guys. I mean, if they get blown out there against the Niners, the number 1 seed, I'm going, okay, well, they were lucky, they were plucky, and they, shouldn't have, couldn't have, all of those things. But that ain't what happened on Saturday night, guys. That game was well in hand. Packers could have easily.
I don't know about in hand.
You said you were comfortable in the. No, you're never comfortable.
I thought they were winning after Aaron Jones had the run.
You thought they were winning.
I thought that they were going to win. I mean, at no point did they. I mean, they weren't up by a ton and blew them. I mean, they were up by 7 going into the fourth quarter, and they were outscored 10-0 in the fourth quarter. It was
never in hand. I didn't even think it was close to in hand.
But that's
did?
So I will say this: I almost tweeted something, and then I was like, "Nope, don't jinx it," and pulled back the tweet. But the way that it was shaking out, Chew, it was like it's all happening almost famous style. Like that's how I felt. It was like, yes, they made some mistakes early. Yes, they weren't able to capitalize on some opportunities, and still, it felt like things were going their way. It felt like momentum was going their way. It felt like Purdy, as we expected, was the weak link out there. He was throwing ducks. He was sailing passes. There were times where I was like, who was he even throwing to? Of course, you can't get a grounding call in that game.
No, whatever. You know what?
I think we're being a little greedy, expecting the win. I walked out of that game and I'm like, okay, they belong. That's the only thing I wanted it to look like. Win, lose, draw, just look like you belong. You belong. It's set up for next year. We're in a great place. A lot of draft picks, cap healthy-ish.
You know what it reminded me of, Chew?
What?
You guys going to Dallas in 95.
Yeah, kind of did.
You guys had a lead going into the fourth quarter, like, oh, we can do. And then, I mean, the Cowboys were the better team, and they scored a couple of times in the fourth quarter to put you guys away in the NFC Championship game. And, I mean, the Niners ultimately were the better team, and they put the Packers away with what they did in the fourth quarter.
I don't know. Again, even the injury to Deebo Samuel, I was like, okay, you're taking away. Again, the Packers didn't cause it, let's be clear, but like there was an injury to a player on the opposing team, and that certainly set up well for the Packers. You take away one of their best offensive weapons, which everybody was talking about, certainly affected their ability to run the ball effectively, right? Because if it's not just Christian McCaffrey, they have Deebo, and once Deebo was out of there, it does change the plays. In fact, who was the guy?
Jawan Jennings.
Yes, thank you, Jennings.
Yes.
Who they were like, that play was absolutely for Deebo Samuel, and Jennings just got slotted in there.
And Kyle was like, hey, you know what? Just throw Jawan in there. I bet he can do it. He's just as good, right? He didn't do that. Oh, no, we can't. And then they ran a read option, trying to get Purdy to the edge. Kyle was grasping at straws there for a second.
Well, I wish that I could nail down the emotion that I was feeling. I did tweet out right after the game that I was having that heated argument, internal, right? One side over here, and they're just chirping at each other going, yeah, but, what about this? Did you consider this? And I'm frustrated because the opportunity was there. I think they deserve to be one of the final four teams headed into this week's championship round.
My word's pride. I felt pride because it was clear that San Francisco was trying to intimidate them, right? With the late stuff and
it was
the
chippy.
fight on the sideline.
They fought
and the
right
fact
back.
that these young guys fought right back and said, screw you. You're not intimidating us here. That was great. And then the flop by Owens, beautiful.
That was very good.
As someone who hates the Boston Celtics and their flopping, I was very conflicted, Chew. I was very conflicted about the flop because, I mean, obviously very good in real time, but at the same time, like, as an anti-flopper, it was tough.
So I guess this morning what I want to ask you is, I'm most blank. I'm most frustrated. I'm most annoyed. I'm most optimistic. I'm most sad. I'm most mad. I'm most whatever. And if you want to take the AP course of this, I'm most blank about blank. I'm most frustrated about this part of the game. I'm most angry about this part of the game. I'm most optimistic about whatever you're feeling this morning. We want to give you a platform for it. Because I got to tell you, I'm conflicted. I don't know exactly, Chew, how I feel because I recognize that this team is ahead of schedule. Whether they wanted to admit to a rebuild or not, I'm recognizing that if it was a rebuild, you're clearly ahead of schedule, right? You're one of the rare contractors that actually is ahead of schedule on the rebuild. And I recognize that there's a lot of potential for this team to have a really, really good run next season, maybe the next season. But I'm also annoyed. I'm annoyed that it was right. Yeah, it was right there, Chew. Yeah, a missed field goal here,
Jen,
an
they
interception.
will have their time.
It's Chew, we have an entire offseason to be optimistic. Like, after the Packers lose a game in which they should have won, they outplayed a team for 3/4 of the game, maybe more. They had every opportunity in front of them. I think it's okay to be disappointed. I know our expectations changes, but once you're in it and you're one of the final 8 teams, I think it's fair. You were 10-point dogs, and you had a lead in the fourth quarter. I think it's okay to be disappointed.
Yeah, and I'm sad and I'm disappointed.
Yeah,
but I also don't like. How many times I don't think the Packers should have won.
No,
they were the better team for 3 quarters. Yes, but how many times do we talk about in NFL games? Yeah, cool. You can be the best team for 3 quarters. The fourth quarter is the winning quarter.
Yeah.
And they played like crap in the fourth quarter.
What I won't do is do the big sweeping judgments that you did on teams past because the team is so young. So I will stay away from that stuff because, hey, you could see the youth played a part in the game. It very much affected the outcome
youth
of the game.
Played a part in the outcome. There you go. Yes, it played a part in the outcome.
You just got an iPad for Christmas and an iPod, and now you want a clock radio.
Yeah.
What year is
What?
it?
Wait, no, hold
You
on.
can't have it all.
You just got an iPad and now you want a clock radio? No one's asking for a clock radio.
Or an iPod.
I think Joshy is.
Do they make iPods? Aren't those just phones now?
He wants it all. Stop being a spoiled little brat.
I'm a toad.
Ribbit.
That's okay to
I don't
be a
think
toad.
Joshy is feeling that way this morning, Chew, if they aren't so close. If Anders Carlson makes a 41-yard field goal instead of missing it. If Jordan Love doesn't throw across his body on first down with 2 timeouts remaining and 50 seconds left on the clock. I don't think he's feeling that way. But they were so close to moving on to facing the Detroit Lions, which we'll get to that as the show goes on this morning, because I'm very curious how Packers fans are feeling about Detroit being in the NFC Championship game. 800-990-3776. I'm most blank. And again, if you want to go the AP route, about blank. We got some reaction already rolling in. Let's see. Mitch weighing in saying, I'm most sad that it's over. I'm not upset we lost. I just wanted to keep watching this team play. And that's fair because as Joshy has said many times, this was the most fun season in a while. Fun to watch. And I will say I saw a lot of reaction right after the game that was like, thank God we don't have to deal with the off-season drama surrounding the most important position on the field. 800-990-3776. Jeff weighing in saying, I'm most excited for our new kicker.
He's coming back.
Oh, of course he is.
Yeah.
Huh?
The Packers, they love their draft picks.
They do.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Every time you use fine and you attribute Gabe as the creator of that phrase, I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, but we all knew that. We said at the beginning of the season, or I did, I said, look, the guy's going to have times where he struggles. I wouldn't say he lost the game, but it sure would have been nice to make that kick.
Oh, yeah, not like Tyler Bass yesterday who missed the 44-yarder wide right with a minute 47 left in the game. No, it wasn't like that. You're right.
No.
I think I'd be with Chew if he hadn't missed the most kicks in the NFL.
Exactly. My issue is, and I'll get to this as the show goes on, I'm not mad that he missed that kick. I'm mad he was on the roster.
Yeah.
I'm mad that they had no other option, to be perfectly honest with you, Gabe. And Matt LaFleur had been asked in the days leading up to, like, hey, insurance, Geico, Progressive, anything, Liberty. Do you want some insurance for your kicking position?
Yeah, but if you're going to get on him, you got to get on Jordan Love, too. For that last throw of the game. You cannot. When have you ever seen a throw across the body work out?
Not even just for that last throw, Chew.
Yeah.
He was bad.
But
Straight
he's
up
going to
bad
learn
in the fourth quarter.
But he's going to learn.
He missed a lot of throws.
Yes, and he will learn.
The first interception he threw, I mean, I don't know if they get the first down if he completes it to Kraft there because Fred Warner's going to be barreling down on you, and it's going to be close whether or not you get there. But you had an opportunity earlier to pick up a first down, and he threw it 3 yards behind Aaron Jones. He was, I think I saw somebody tweeted out the numbers. He was 6 of 12 in the fourth quarter with the 2 picks.
Yeah.
I guess after their first handful of drives. So the fourth quarter and late third quarter. 6 of 12.
990-3776. Let's go out to the phone lines. Phones are open for you all morning long to express your reaction to the Packers season being over, losing by 3 points to those Niners on Saturday night. Dave in Milwaukee, you're up first on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Yeah, I'd have to go down with the kicker again. I'm most frustrated that he was our kicker in this opportunity. We had a great chance to get to the next level. And because of that, we actually didn't get to the next level. Obviously, Love made mistakes, but he was the one who got us there and got us that opportunity, and the kicker was the one who let us down. So he has to be replaced, I think. I mean, you can't go with something like that next year and be confident at all. So that's what I'm most frustrated with. Thanks.
Yeah, and Chewy, your point about we knew that this could happen, to me, it doesn't make it better. Like, knowing that you have an Achilles heel, a potential liability on the roster doesn't make me feel better when ultimately that is or it contributes to the outcome. 800-990-3776. Tons of reaction rolling in, guys. I'm most blank about blank. Dumpy in West Bend weighing in saying, I'm most impressed about the turnaround. I can't remember. I threw out all my Packers gear after they lost to the Broncos. Best turnaround I can remember is what it says. Mario weighing in saying, I'm most frustrated about the refereeing. Ball placement, missed calls, offsides, grounding, screwed the Packers out of points, put the Niners in a position to score. That was frustrating to watch. 800-990-3776. This morning, as we reflect on the end of the Packers season, we're talking exclusively right now about about the end of the season. There will be plenty of time for optimism and excitement and all of those things, because there are a lot of those elements as well. But right now I'm still sitting in I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, I'm disappointed. Where are you this morning, Gabe?
Palermo's Pizza, great place to work certified. Recognition based entirely on what current employees say about their work experience, and 73% of employees say it's a great place to work. That's 4 points higher than the average U.S. company. Employees offered industry-competitive wages, generous medical, dental, vision plans, on-site health clinic, paid time off, tuition reimbursement, various shifts and hours, and look, you'd be working for Palermo's Pizza. So, of course, there is a monthly free pizza allotment and more. Palermo's, third-generation, family-owned company founded in 1964, HQ'd right here in Milwaukee. Palermo's Pizza, they're one of the most recognized frozen pizza manufacturers in the United States. And look, it's easy to see why. Because their growing portfolio of brands includes Palermo's, Screamin' Sicilian, Urban Pie, Connie's, and from the hit Netflix series Stranger Things, Surfer Boy Pizza. If you're looking to grow your career at a company that puts people first, visit the Palermo's career page, PalermoVillaInc.com/careers. That's PalermoVillaInc.com/careers.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Slick conditions pretty much everywhere right now through most of Milwaukee County, all of Waukesha, Washington, Racine, Kenosha. Very slippery conditions, especially in some of those elevated areas. Got some precipitation that's coming down, making things interesting. Got an accident on 94 eastbound, just east of Highway 26 on the right shoulder. Car off into the ditch. And we've got some snow-covered conditions. 43 is pretty much snow-covered all the way along through Ozaukee County. So just want to be extra careful as you're making your way through this morning. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, a chance for snow, freezing drizzle, breezy with a high of 34. Tonight, cloudy with a mix, likely later on, a low of 31. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hi everyone, John Miller here from PDS, a Converge company. PDS has been providing technology solutions and transforming IT for area companies for over 30 years. Today, we are helping organizations integrate digital workplace strategies that are giving today's worker the true ability to work from anywhere as they balance work and life both securely and productively. And as HP's largest partner in the area, our combined solutions have never been more important. If you're struggling with this, know we stand ready to help. From ideation to transformation, we can help you evolve your work from anywhere strategy. Learn more at pdsit.net.
If you're like most people, you've had your fair share of financial questions. Questions like, can I afford my son's travel hockey team? What if my daughter doesn't get that soccer scholarship? Will I be able to enjoy golf in retirement? At Empower, we know these questions can be stressful. We're here to help answer your what ifs and empower what's next. Join 18 million Americans and take control of your financial future. Start today at empower.com.
Get deals on what you need during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's. Right now, save $250 when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch sliding miter saw and adjustable stand together. Plus, save $710 on an LG kitchen suite and earn 3 times the bonus points on all LG appliances. Because Lowe's knows savings, Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Bonus points calculated before tax and fees after applicable discounts of any. Valid 1/15 to 1/26. Subject to change.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. It's a new year, so what are the changes you're looking to make in 2024? If you've been thinking about therapy, but have been putting it off, now's the time to start. Therapy helps you build on your existing strengths to form a better you. Give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and suited to your schedule. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit BetterHelp.com/like today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/like.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Tuna. Dating app. It's tuna.
I love tuna. I had some last night.
How do you eat your tuna?
Can we, for once, grow up on this show?
On 94.5 ESPN.
Season being over. Lots of reaction rolling in this morning. Holy moly, you guys have thoughts. 800-990-3776 if you want to answer our question this morning. I'm most blank about blank. Yes, it's a Mad Lib morning here on Gabe and Chewy. I'm most blank about blank. Dave weighing in saying, I'm most frustrated that it was the GD 49ers. I would have rather lost to almost anyone else. And Brett weighing in saying, I'm most disappointed because if GB just plays a clean, good game, they win that one. This was a below average performance from this team. Let's go out to the phone lines and talk to Clinton in Hales Corners. Clinton, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Your reaction to the loss.
How's it going? So my reaction to the loss is this. I'm actually excited for the up-and-coming team. I'm most excited about this team because now we know what we're looking for, at least in the draft. You know, we figured out now what our loose screws are. We figured out what holes we need to fill. I think we get a running back like I kind of want Blake Corum, to be honest. Someone who can sit behind Jones and start to learn how Jones has his game and maybe develop something of their own accord. But then also, too, I'm most excited about this team because now we have a renewed sense of innocence that I don't think we've had since the time of Rodgers. With Rodgers' career, there was this expectation of getting to the Super Bowl after winning in 2010. And now that isn't necessarily the case that I think we're going to have that with Love. Yes, it's great to get to the Super Bowl. Yes, it'd be great to win one. And we were so close. But now there isn't this expectation of if and when he gets there because I think it's a matter of when, not a matter of if. There's this opportunity. There's now this running opportunity that we have. So it's exciting.
Yeah, I guess that's why I'm sad because I don't know. I don't think Super Bowl is necessarily the expectation for 2024. But there are expectations on this team to make it back to the playoffs, to get further than this and get to an NFC championship game. And we're going to have all those expectations. I'm just sad because there weren't expectations on this, and this run was fun. And I think part of the reason it was fun is because it was unexpected. So now next year, yeah, there are more expectations to be more competitive within the division and give the Lions a run for winning the NFC North, to get a home game in the playoffs, to make a deeper run. And those expectations come with what they did this year. It was just more fun this year because you didn't have those expectations.
Like, how would you guys feel if it was a Baltimore-Houston score? What would you be saying today if it was that? Okay, we're a
lot of work to
do. You think so? I don't think a lot of work. I think that you would say, all right, there's work to be done, but...
Well, a lot of work to build around Love. Yeah, I mean, if they got blown out, like I think that, again, using the Texans as an example, they're going, okay, that's the best team. We just got blown out. There's a lot of work we got to do to this roster to make sure we get to that level. And, I mean, they're knocking on the door. Clearly the Packers have some work on the roster to do, but...
Yeah, there's decisions, and I think the decisions have to come on the defensive side. Mm-hmm. I mean, Devondre Campbell, God, you got to fill that middle. And then Savage, man, when you're the next guy up in the box, you got to make that tackle against McCaffrey before he goes for, 45 yards. So there's decisions, and there's upgrades to make on this team. But the nice thing is they have the resources to do it.
It felt like watching that game that the distance between Devondre Campbell and Fred Warner was a galaxy.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
It's because it is.
But even Greenlaw's...
Oh, yeah. I mean, Fred Warner's one of the best, if not the best, inside linebacker in football. And Devondre Campbell, every time he's around the football, I think he's going to do the wrong thing.
Let me ask you this, because I did like the caller suggesting a Blake Corum as a running back. You think the Packers get a chance at Blake Corum just from where... It depends on... Look, some people are very, very high on Blake Corum. Some people are not as high on Blake Corum. Some people have him going as high as 31, 42, 50, 39. And then there are others who have him in the 80s. Close to the 90s. Packers do have picks throughout all of those spaces, right? We think that first one will be between 25 and 30.
It's 25.
It is? Oh, because it's all locked up?
Mm-hmm.
I'll write that down. 25, 41, 52, and 83. With any of those first four picks, how would you feel about a Blake Corum being green and gold?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Again, I don't know if they'll have a chance at him the second time. Again, who knows what happens in the draft process. I know Mel Kiper right now has a second-round grade on him, so grabbing him at 25... may not make sense, but
Feels
at the
like
same
a reach.
time, well, but at the same time, how many people were saying Jahmyr Gibbs was a reach for the Lions, and then he did what he did in the fourth quarter, and they're laughing at everybody on their way to the NFC Championship game.
You know what they need? What they really need is someone with a motor that just doesn't stop. Because if you look at Bosa on that last interception, he was down and out, but that guy just gets back up, and he's the one, because he closed the gap on Love, that forced him to throw that ball.
And which Bosa was that, just to be clear?
That was one of the Bosas. I believe there's John is the dad, and Nick and Joey. And
Which one? So you got
The whole gang.
one of three choices, big guy.
And really, two, because we don't think
I
Dad's
just
still
call him JB. That's all I call him.
Wow, he's not.
It was the other one.
Oh, it's
you
Nick.
have choices poorly.
Yeah, but don't you? If they had someone with a motor like that, I mean, Rashawn Gary's fine.
I mean, they're going to need a top 5 pick. Because other than Max Crosby, all those guys, Aiden Hutchinson, Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett, those are all premium draft picks.
Yeah,
800-990-3776. Let's go back out to the phone lines. Lots of folks are waiting patiently on hold to get their reactions in. Mo, you're up next. Mo in Illinois, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Good morning, guys. I'll be honest, this loss stings so hard. I don't know why compared to like the other playoff losses, but this one hurts because of like the finality of it all. Like this team exceeded so many expectations, and you just never knew what was going to happen. If we won that game against San Fran, I think they could have really created history. But my frustration really comes with the offense. Like I think it's easy to blame Andres Carlson, and he's got to do his job too. But the offense had so many opportunities to put this game away. When Aaron Jones had that big run, you could have, obviously, Carlson missed that field goal, but, that third down throw that Love missed on Aaron Jones, to me, that was the play of the game. You convert that third down, I think the Packers are going to burn some clock, they're going to march down the field, and eventually score a touchdown. But that one hurt. And I think Jordan Love, obviously, we're not in the position we are today without him, but had he just played to his standard that he's been playing with the past few weeks, in the fourth quarter, had he played that way, I think the Packers move on. So the offense has to learn how to close out games, especially when the defense puts you in a position to win this game. So my frustration really lies with the offense.
We appreciate the call.
Did the moment finally get to Jordan?
The big stage, the big lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a young team, guys. This is what happens with young teams. They don't have the experience. You know what you are before this game? Really, really nervous. You're really nervous. And then you learn as you experience this stuff how to deal with those nerves. This is all, Gabe, what do they say in Moneyball? It's a process. It's a process. It's a process.
And to be fair, Chew, that's something that you had said from the beginning of the year. You weren't going to jump in line. I did feel like they did a little bit, right? I did feel like they jumped a few spots in line.
Yeah.
And so your point is, hey, we always knew that their youth was going to contribute to some of these types of oopsies.
Sure.
And Jordan, to his credit, I don't think he's going to throw across his body late in the game, especially in a win or go home type of situation. And sometimes you have to go through it to learn from it. You can know that you're not supposed to throw across your body, but obviously in those moments, like you said, the lights, the emotion, the pressure, all of that, you forget.
Well, he didn't forget. He'd gotten away with it a couple times. Like the throw against Dallas that we were all oohing about because the end zone angle looked so cool. He threw over the middle across his body, and he was able to fit it through because he's got this great arm talent, right? Mm-hmm. The reason why you make that throw, the reason why Brett tried to make that throw all the time.
Because he could?
Because you could.
Yeah, well, until he couldn't.
Yeah, exactly, until you can't. But you've done it before.
Yeah.
So when you get away with it, then you think you can get away with it again.
Also, the Packers have been able to move the ball against virtually anyone, but that's still a really good defense. And you could, those guys were making plays.
Yeah.
There was, the amount of times you saw Fred Warner scream out of nowhere and just kill the play. I understand why when Nick Bosa rounds a corner, you're going to get a little jumpy.
Did you guys notice how fast the game felt, though?
Yes.
Just the difference between a regular season game and a playoff game.
Well, and that was the same, I thought, mentality that the Packers took into the Dallas game, which was chewing up the clock. Again, it was very similar in that first drive, which I know they didn't score a touchdown, but they pulled 7 minutes off the clock. Like that was going to be the game plan. And yes, those suckers did seem to be clicking right by. Are you talking about the speed of like the plays?
The speed,
too?
just everyone flying around, and it's just, I mean, that's. I could notice the difference on how, the little bumps and bruises, they just go away. The nagging injury, they just go away because it's sudden death. Loser
adrenaline,
goes home.
the adrenaline and whatnot.
I loved how they matched. I tell you what, I absolutely loved how they matched San Francisco going out and trying to intimidate
the intensity.
Them. And they said, screw you, ain't intimidating us.
To that point, Chew, I mean, it was after a big play by Kittle, but even Jair tried to, when he threw a hard shoulder into... Yeah, this was a guy that didn't look like he wanted to go through a lot of contacts. He dealt with the shoulder injury, did not care. He's throwing that shoulder into George Kittle.
Loved it.
Let's get one more call in here before we take a break. 800-990-3776. Roscoe in Milwaukee, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Good morning.
Yeah. One thing, when you got a young player like that, you can't assume. And the coach got to tell him the number one thing that he don't want to do in that position is maybe make a throw like that. The other thing is, like, you got to get rid of Joe Barry. Joe Barry in the fourth quarter and his defense, he doesn't position his players right to stop the offense. He gives it up. He's probably the number one problem. And the other thing is, at the beginning of the season, Jair made the comment that Jordan Love would be like the number one quarterback in our division, and people will start laughing about it. But you got the piece in line right now. All you got to do is make the right moves on the defense and get a person in there that's going to put our defensive players in the best position to win.
Appreciate the call, Roscoe. 800-990-3776. Are we doing this? Or you want to do it? You want to talk about it?
I don't want to
talk about it next.
Okay.
It's okay, Gabe. Breathe. Breathe. Just breathe. They're in a great spot.
Yes, you breathe gives me an opportunity to talk about my friends over at Professional Construction Inc. in Waukesha. If you have any sort of construction needs, maybe it's a commercial project or a multifamily or an office, or you're like my family, you're looking for help on a remodel project, Professional Construction Inc. or PCI is here for you. Guys, I've talked about how when we had the woodpecker poking holes in the siding of our house, PCI came out and helped us with that. We had a balcony issue that was leaking water into our house. PCI came over and helped us out with that. PCI also finished our basement, gave us the space we needed in order for our family to keep, existing in our home without issue. And that was really great. And PCI can do the same for you. So if you are interested in a commercial project, a multifamily or an office or a remodel on your existing home or maybe building a new home, can you contact my friends over at PCI? Mike and Michelle are fantastic. Their whole crew is wonderful. They do exceptional work. They do it efficiently, and they will listen to you throughout the entire process. So go ahead and check out their website, professionalconstructioninc.com, professionalconstructioninc.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We do have some slick conditions all over the place. You're going to need to be extra careful this morning. Eastbound 94 in Jefferson County, just east of Highway 26. We do have a car that went off into the ditch. Just to give you an idea what you're dealing with here. We've also got snow-covered conditions on 43 north and southbound right through Ozaukee County. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, a chance for snow, freezing drizzle, breezy with a high of 34. Tonight, cloudy with a mix likely later on, a low of 31. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Jason Wilding for Associated Bank. Here in Wisconsin, we love our sports year-round, right down to the Packers games and Lambeau Snow. If you want to show your love for the green and gold every day, you got it with Associated Bank's exclusive Packers checking account. A one-of-a-kind debit card, a 10% discount at the Packers Pro Shop, plus everything you'll score as an Associated Bank customer. Best of all, you'll get a banking partner based right here in the Midwest. Visit AssociatedBank.com/Packers to get started today. You've got this with Associated Bank. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel, stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at lowtusa.com.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Well, have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next-day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Whether it's expanding your business, upgrading your equipment, or unexpected challenges, you can score big with Swish Funding, the slam dunk solution for your funding needs. No matter what your personal credit history, if you've got at least $25,000 in monthly revenue and been in business for at least a year, qualifying is easier than a layup with no collateral needed. Slam dunk your financial goals today. Go to swishradio.com. That's swishradio.com.
Lowe's knows pros want savings now. That's why, as an MVP's Pro Rewards member, you get volume savings on orders of $1,500 or more at the Pro Desk. And there's more. We've lowered our prices on select top products like electrical wire and drywall, so you can get the job necessities for less. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. In-store only. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Discover, this is Daniela.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great, but with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Do you like asparagus and mushroom sorbet? I've got leftovers.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Look, you take Jesus and the presents out, and it's not even in the top 10.
Well, I mean, yeah. If you take sex out of the anniversary, then that's not that fun either.
On 94.5 ESPN.
As we continue reacting to the Packers' loss to those San Francisco 49ers, they felt like a premature end to the season. We got a lot of reaction rolling in. Our question this morning is, I'm most blank about blank. I'm most frustrated about, red zone inefficiency. They were actually they were a pretty good red zone team. They'd been a lot better in the red zone as the season went on. I think on the season they were 52% for touchdowns. They were 83% for scoring, but they did score. They obviously kicked field goals on those red zones. But that was one of the things where you knew going against a team like the Niners, you couldn't continue settling for 3. Right? You had to at least put it in. And they obviously did eventually. But that to me at the beginning was like, missed opportunity. Got to make it happen. So I'm most frustrated about the red zone inefficiencies early in the game. 800-990-3776. Let's go out to the phone lines. John in Germantown, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Good morning, John.
Good morning. How are you guys today?
Good.
Sad.
Great.
Frustrated, annoyed?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Excited.
It's Monday. Don't lie, Chew. Even if you're not sad about or disappointed or frustrated with the Packers' loss, it's Monday. You hate Mondays.
Okay.
So you're not great.
The first thing, the two things I just wanted to say, I was frustrated, I think, a little bit with LaFleur. I think in the first quarter, I understand the whole, sometimes he always goes for it on fourth down, when I think sometimes the old thought of just taking the field goal, and I understand you got to score touchdowns, but some things the analytics doesn't always talk about is the momentum completely swung after they stuffed them twice. Then the Niners went, 80-some yards for a touchdown, where They could have extended their lead. You know, the game would have been tied. Carlson's second field goal that he missed maybe have been to win the game. I mean, I just think it could have changed a little bit. And then second, Joe Barry, I thought the game plan was pretty solid the whole game, but then with 3 minutes, whatever it was, 3:52 left, he goes to cover 2, prevent, keep everybody in front of you. And Purdy played not well the whole game, and all of a sudden he just dipped and dunked all the way down the field until they're inside the red zone. Like, all game they were pressuring him. He was throwing balls all over the place. I guess I just don't understand. Like, what do you have to lose? Just bring the house on that last drive.
Who's better, Purdy or Love? Who would you take right now?
Love, 1,000,000%. There's no question.
Love,
and I don't love the narrative that's out there that's like, well, if you were questioning Brock Purdy, I watched the game.
Yeah.
The questions I had about Brock Purdy were entirely valid.
Yeah, I mean, he ended up playing better than Jordan Love. But I'd
Down
still
the
take
stretch,
Love.
I think maybe in the fourth quarter.
Which is...
It's a money quarter.
Yeah, it's the
I
money
think
quarter.
the upside of Love is much better.
100%.
Because I think once you start taking weapons away, and Debo, I don't know what Debo would have done all game long, but I think once you start taking weapons away from Purdy, the more average he becomes.
There was a throw that Jordan had where he's rolling to his left and just throws that dot on the sideline to Romeo. Like, Purdy can't make that throw.
Nope.
Can't make that throw.
Ain't got that in the bag.
But as far as Joe Barry goes, like, this wasn't on him. Like, Purdy's 2 best throws came on that last drive. Like, he somehow fitted in over the top of Keyshawn Nixon before Johnson closed. And I think it was Jennings who held onto it somehow, like took a big shot from, like, that's just a really good throw. And then the best throw he made.
Wait, was that the first throw of the possession? Or was it late in the possession?
Third and longer.
Yeah, and he just dropped it in perfectly. And then there was another third down on a crossing route where I don't even know how the ball fit in. Yeah. Like, it was great coverage, clearly the right. I mean, Brock Purdy just made plays. Like, if you're going to be pissed about Joe Barry, like the easy touchdown drive that they had after the Packers in the third quarter, where it was 4 plays and George Kittle's just running wide open, and then Christian McCaffrey basically goes 40 yards untouched into the end zone. That's the drive to be ticked about. That last drive, like, guys were right there, and Purdy just somehow got it in the right spot.
Oh yeah, that's the drive I thought he was referring to. Was the final drive where they were moving the chains at will.
But no, I'm talking about the last drive. Yeah. But I mean, the Packers were. I mean,
that's
Purdy made a couple of good throws. Yeah. I'm saying if you're going to be ticked about the one in the third quarter where it was like 4 plays. They did go. Easy.
They did go into. Joe Barry went back to what he's known for a little bit, but in that situation, I can't say that's totally the wrong place to be. He did a lot of two shells.
Because a lot of times when they brought it seemed like they were doing better getting pressure with 4. It seemed like every time they brought 5 or 6, it got muddied up, and that gave somehow Purdy ended up having more time on those possessions, like the touchdown to Kittle. The Packers brought the house, didn't get home, got burned deep.
And then if you take McCaffrey's long run away from him, I mean that's a pretty damn
pedestrian
good job
day
against McCaffrey, and he was in position. I had no problems with the defensive call. It's just, Savage, you got to make that tackle. That's what you're there for. You're the extra man up in the box. It's you against McCaffrey, and you didn't make the tackle, and it turned in to be a huge part of the game.
And I really can't blame Barry for those missed interceptions. They're right there. Guys were in the spots. They went through your hands. Like, you know, you can stare at them like Little Giants-esque, you know, like they let me down type of thing. But that was on the players, not the scheme.
I have no idea if Joe Barry is back or not. But
oh, yeah, you do. Yes, you do. Don't even go there.
Gabe, I think you're doing a little hopeful thinking.
I have no idea
the king
if
of
Joe
wishful
Barry
thinking
is going to be back or not.
What are you trying to manifest?
However, like, he's not. I mean, I can't blame him for what happened. Like, players were in position. Those players have to make those plays for the most part. You know, like you have to make those plays.
And even some of that, like the Ayuk throw. That's an incredible catch. That's an incredible throw.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do there? We've seen Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers do that all the time where you go, well, good luck. You just can't help it.
Like, he had a hand in there,
right?
And like somehow couldn't even get it out when they're wrestling on the ground. It just, What do you? I mean, that's not on Joe Barry. It's a great throw.
Does Vegas believe that Detroit is better than Green Bay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because of the fact that they are 7-point dogs? Is it 7.5 or 7?
I'll look it up right now.
And the Packers, what did it stabilize at?
Oh, I think
10.
it went back to 10.
10?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, means a lot of people won a lot of money this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was the issue. They were saying that 80% of the bets were coming in on the Packers, and they obviously only lost by 3.
6.5, Chew, by the way.
This week's game?
Yeah.
So it dropped a half.
So, Chew, you're sitting here saying you're pretty resigned to the fact that Joe Barry will be back, but you have been very adamant that they cannot win a Super Bowl with him. Did anything from the Niners game convince you that maybe if he continues to evolve, they can?
Yeah, that's how you play defense. I don't care. You play that type of defense the same way as if you're going up against the Carolina Panthers. You play the same defense. You don't go to the, let's keep everything in front of me. We're supposed to win this game. Defense is all about attitude. That's at least how we were in 96. You know, we didn't care who, except the Colts. But for the most part, we didn't care, and it didn't change. You don't lose that aggressiveness because you're playing a cupcake. If anything, you step on the throat. And hopefully he's learned. I can't say he has, but I tell you what, I can't go through another year just beating this guy up. If this is what we're going with, then this is what we're going with.
Wait, so you're out on it? Like, hold on. I want to make sure I'm very clear. You're done criticizing Joe Barry?
I'm going to try.
There we go.
I'm going to try.
So now he's the king of wishful thinking. We've got both of these guys who just, I don't know what you're subscribing to, but it ain't it. Let's go out to the phone lines, 800-990-3776. Ricardo in Canada, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I'm most blank about blank, Ricardo.
Oh, I'm definitely sad and depressed with LaFleur. He let us down, and I'll tell you in 2 reasons why. First, all year he's been throwing the worst challenge flags on the most obvious calls, and on the 4th down play in the first quarter, where we clearly got it was a bad spot, he doesn't challenge that for some reason. I have no idea what he was looking at. And 2, Matt LaFleur's teams, they all have, every playoff loss, there's always been a glaring fatal flaw on a team. And it's happened year over year. 1 year, we could have stopped the run all year, and San Francisco ran for like 4,000 yards on us. The next year, the special teams was historically bad all year, and guess what? San Francisco beat us again on special teams. This year, our kicker, God bless the guy, I know he's young, but he missed a kick for like 8 straight games. It was inevitable. It's like seeing a freight train coming down and just staying on the track. Like, there's something needs to be done. Like, Manafort needs to react to that. He squandered an opportunity. I don't care how young we are. We were a Super Bowl team. I'm watching Tampa Bay and thing yesterday. We can beat both those teams. I'm watching Kansas City and Buffalo and Baltimore. We can beat those teams. But there's always a fatal flaw that Manafort just lets fester. You can't say in an interview, I just send my kicker out and pray to God it happens. Like, what are we talking about? You're the head coach. Like, you got to fix the problem. You can't just let it go by. And by the way, Chewy, you're the best. Love you guys. Bye.
Well, there's a lot that happened there.
Gabe, can you unpack that for us?
Nice little frog splash off the top at the end there.
Most importantly, Chewy, you're the best. I want to make sure we get that in there.
Not last week.
I was going to say there was a lot of people last week who were telling us the exact opposite of that, but let's move on. A lot of gloating happening from out. I'm surprised they're awake in the Bay, to be perfectly honest with you. But I do think that we need to get to that sound. The sound of Matt LaFleur saying that when his kicker is out there, he sign of the cross? He puts his hands together, says a few Hail Marys?
Say a little prayer for you.
That's insane. We'll get to that right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Have you tried Celsius Energy Drink yet? If you haven't, can I tell you about it? It's the clean energy drink that you need and that I need to stay active and energized all day long. Guys, my daughters are both sick. Staying home from school sick. They were sick yesterday. Fever, coughing. One of those coughs that comes from like the depths of your soul. So I am running low on sleep. And the only thing that's going to help me get through today is Celsius Energy Drink. You can find it at Pick and Save or online at Amazon. Stay active and energized all day long with Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. Celsius Essential Energy Drinks.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Hear that? The sound of water being poured on 800-degree rocks. If you were here in this sauna, you'd be so hot you wouldn't have the energy to move. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. Besides, after a long ride, a helmet sweat is way more satisfying. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without even breaking a sweat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Haul away big deals this Thursday through Sunday at Fleet Farm's Truckload Savings Event. Like 40-pound bags of Diamond Crystal Solar Salt, just $4.99. 20-pound bags of KT Woodlands Wild Bird Food are only $5.99. Plus, save on 50 pounds of Sprout Crumble or Pellet Poultry Layer Feed, just $13.99. And set your sights on 35% off Ammo Inc. defensive handgun ammo. Stock up on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. If you've been cold in your own home, do not suffer through one more winter in a cold and drafty home. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Plus, a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Tell them I told you to call and get an additional $250 off your project. Go to universalwindowsdirect.com, and you'll be saying, I love my windows.
They pretty much weren't doing anything. I couldn't ride a bicycle. You don't have your life because you don't have your mobility.
So when Patrick heard about QC Kinetics here in Milwaukee and their non-invasive regenerative treatments for pain, no waiting, he called them immediately.
There's no downtime. There's no rehab. That was the tipping point for me. I didn't have to take any drugs. I didn't have to rehab.
Before considering surgery, check out QC Kinetics all-natural treatment options that restore and repair damaged joint tissue in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back.
If you have knee replacement surgery, and then the knee is not yours, and there's no guarantee that that's going to be successful.
QC Kinetics. Patients around the country are raving about the results. They're getting back their mobility, taking back their lives with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery. Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Excuse me. Hold on. Getting choked up over it. So, hold on. Gonna be a moment.
On 94.5 ESPN.
When we talked to the head coach, Matt LaFleur, about this, he basically said when he goes out there, I just pray, guys, right?
Okay, I heard it again. I heard it on the broadcast, and I heard it just now, and I saw it on our show sheet, and I still can't believe it. Not that Matt LaFleur isn't, clasping his hands in front of him and saying a few Hail Marys before Anders Carlson tries to split the uprights. No, it's that he said it out loud, Gabe.
There's some wiggle room in there for LaFleur to walk it back, though. Because he didn't say it was a director. He said throwing the word basically in there for Rinaldi, I think gives LaFleur a little bit of wiggle room on his way out.
He'll be able to say, I do that for every kicker. I do that for every play. I am praying a lot during the game, right? I mean, that's kind of
No, that's bad. If he's praying a lot during the game, that's making it worse.
Okay, well, I think he will have to say that this is not an anomaly. I think he will have to say that this is not an Anders Carlson exclusive. Fair, Chew?
With young kids? I don't know. I mean, the kid will be fine. There's just so much pressure. He's young. It's like everything else. He's just got to learn from this stuff. Because didn't he start the season off great?
He started out okay. And the problem is, Chew, it's not like he was known as an accurate kicker. He's got a big leg.
Yeah.
And they were hoping to teach him accuracy. And
much like Jordan Love.
Obviously. Well, it worked for one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I
didn't
go
really
back
work
to
for the other.
Ryan Longwell, his rookie year. I remember a game in Philadelphia early. I think it was the third game of the year, and he had a 22-yarder or a 28-yarder to win the game as a walk-off, and he missed it. So what happens with young guys?
There's one thing here that kind of looms large in what everyone talked about was he wasn't a very good college kicker. He has the brother, obviously, who was great after the Vikings gave up on him too quickly. But typically, and I'm not doing kicker breakdowns, but typically...
It sounds like you are.
Typically, guys who struggle from 40-plus, that carries over and they really don't fix it. That's like one of those things that's just a consistent issue. And he said, I just missed it. Like, I missed the ball on my foot. Put it in the wrong spot.
But the snaps were low, too, right? Whenever they showed that behind the kick angle, didn't it look like those snaps were a little iffy?
Just the one. But
I thought I saw at least two.
That they made. I mean, I don't think there was any issue with that one. I don't think there was an issue with that. That was pretty clean operation. Snap, hold. He just missed the kick.
The problem is, kicker is not quarterback. Thankfully, I suppose. But with a quarterback, you expect there to be some incompletions, right? You go into it. It's kind of like in baseball, right? What do they always talk about? Guy can miss 7 out of 10 and still be a Hall of Famer. That's not how it works with kickers. You can't go into every game and be like, well, he's going to miss one, but he'll hit all the other ones. Like, because that one could be the deciding factor in the game, like it was last night in the Buffalo Bills game, right? Like, I just don't know how you can when there are only 32 kickers in the league. Shouldn't you find somebody who is 90%? Like, what do you think the threshold should be, Gabe, for an NFL kicker?
I think you got to be, 90% would put you in elite. Like, that's probably 10 kickers in the league. You got to be 85 and above, probably.
Well,
85 and above.
You can't miss extra points, right? That's one thing you can't do.
No,
you
yeah,
got to be
because
100
that puts
for
your
100.
team behind the 8 ball a little bit if those start adding up.
Because when your kicker misses an extra point, what do you always say? That could be a difference. That could make the difference. Yeah, you cannot miss those.
It was Carlson's 5th straight game with a missed kick, field goal, or extra point, and 10th in the last 12. Guys, should they have gone out and gotten somebody? I mean, we were joking around during the break a little bit about Mason Crosby basically sitting at home watching this once the Giants were out. Would that have been a realistic option?
I think once you go this far, like kicking is one of those things I don't think you can just be like, and we saw it with Mason. He missed a kick for the Giants late in the game because he wasn't kicking all year. I mean, once you get this far, it screams.
Yeah, you're in it.
Yeah, it just screams panic move to replace him at this point. If you're going to replace him, I think you had to do it with a month left in the season.
See, and I want to be very clear on this. In no way, shape, or form do I think that kicking in the NFL is easy. I want to be very clear. I'm not saying I could do it. And any of you buffoons out there, who on social media over the last 48 hours or so have said that I could have made that kick. No, you can't. You can't. Stop right now. But it does seem like guys out there who can. And I mean, again, when there's one per team, it feels like you should be able to have the best of the best on those teams. And I don't know that Anders Carlson, would you say right now, guys, and I feel like this is going to be pretty emphatic and pretty unanimous, would you say that Anders Carlson is one of the best 32 kickers in the country right now?
No.
Yeah, but then you start going down that rabbit hole, like Crosby. You bring him in for 2 games, he misses a game winner. All right, go get the next guy, and then the next guy does the same thing. Because I could tell you this: if they did, I don't think they would release Andres Carlson. Maybe move him to the practice squad. Someone would grab him.
No, you could keep him on the 53. I mean, I guess if you were
2
doing
kickers?
If you were doing it the way that Jen was talking about. Well, no, you could put a kicker on the practice squad and elevate him. I mean, that's what teams did with Mason. They elevated him off the practice squad. It's what the Packers did with last year's punter, Pat O'Donnell, who was last year's punter and did not punt at all this year. They had him on the practice squad. They signed him late last week because Daniel Whelan was sick, and in case he was unable to go on Saturday, they had Pat O'Donnell ready to go, and he was going to be their punter. Now, obviously, Whelan, was able to recover from whatever illness he had, and he punted in the game. But that would have been the route to go: is put him up with the way they can do the practice squad and elevate guys now. That would have been the way to go.
But then someone can grab grab him, Gabe, if they put him on their active roster.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You keep Carlson on the active roster, and whatever secondary kicker you would have brought in, you would have elevated that person from the practice squad.
If you're on the line, stay on the line. We'll get to you in 2 minutes here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
We do have some slick conditions all over the place. You're going to need to be extra careful this morning. Eastbound 94 in Jefferson County, just east of Highway 26. We do have a car that went off into the ditch. Just to give you an idea what you're dealing with here. We've also got snow-covered conditions on 43 north and southbound right through Ozaukee County. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, a chance for snow, freezing drizzle, breezy with a high of 34. Tonight, cloudy with a mix likely later on, a low of 31. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Kessler's gives you diamond choices that no one else can give you.
We have all the colors and clarities and carat weights of diamonds that come from diamond mines.
And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers, newborn created diamonds.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond?
Tell them what an anniversary diamond is, Monica.
An anniversary diamond can be twice as big as the one in her engagement ring.
Why twice as big?
Every diamond makes a statement.
Okay.
The anniversary diamond says, I love you twice as much today as the day I married you.
Now tell them about our miraculous no small print warranty.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed.
It's just that simple.
And all maintenance is free forever.
No charge.
Yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with.
When you're ready to celebrate.
We've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
It's low. Couple fakes going. Wide open in the end zone. It is. Melted as he gets the feet down. He is. Touchdown. It's low. Far side, throws complete, caught for the touchdown. Tucker Kraft and the pack back in front. Carlson, no! Wide left and a big miss for the young kicker. McCaffrey scores! 49ers in front. Pressure up the middle, runs away, throws across his body, and that is picked. 49ers have it. Greenlaw. San Francisco takes over.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Part of the reason it stings so bad right now is we fully believed and fully expected to win this game.
Like you said, had an opportunity to win that game and, didn't capitalize on it. So it's a tough way to end the season.
It's a young group that there's a lot of promise for the future, but nothing's guaranteed, and our guys are going to have to attack this offseason.
Everyone in the locker room is definitely motivated to get back after it and get ready for next season.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride and she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like
our loyal listeners are the best. I got dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of replies here and reaction here to the Packers' loss to the 49ers. I'm most blank about blank. However you want. I don't want to dictate your emotions this morning. Maybe you are optimistic. Maybe you are frustrated. Maybe you're annoyed. Maybe you're sad. Maybe you're angry. Maybe you're excited. And then tell us what about. Let's go out to the phone lines again, guys. 800-990-3776. Yeah, Chew.
Real quick, I did a little research during the break for context. Ryan Longwell, his rookie year was 30 field goals attempted, 24 made for a percentage of 80%. Carlson was 33 attempted, 27 made for 81%. So there's your context.
Sure. but kickers have also gotten a lot better since his, you know what I'm saying? Like
81 is still worse than 85, right? I just want to be clear on the math.
Yep.
Yeah.
But 81 for a rookie kicker?
No, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't think that we should be excusing an 80% kicker.
No, that's just, it's not good enough anymore.
81.
81% kicker. And Chewy
Chewy
does
brought in a guy from the MLS.
Yeah, who
and
was a
he's
soccer
just
player.
A star right away. This guy's from a kicking family, and he's not that good yet.
Chewy, I just want you to also know, as you're sitting here defending Anders Carlson, that we have a lot of people weighing in on the talk and text line saying that Chewy was right. You said Carlson would more than likely miss a key kick because he was a rookie. Sure enough, he did. That from Justin in Middleton, amongst others.
Thank you, Justin. Yeah, this is just what
little cake and eat it too over here. Let's go out to Clay on the phone lines. Clay, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I'm most blank about blank.
Hey, thanks, guys. Love the show. I'm most disappointed with Joe Barry, and here's why. I'm not killing Joe Barry, but here's why I'm disappointed. These last 4 games or 5 games, if you include the Niners, he's been really good. And to me, that's more of an indictment on Joe Barry. And here's why. Because I think it shows the Packers clearly have the talent on defense to be decent to good. And I think it's the coaching in the defense for most of the year that did not put them in the positions. And I understand, I thought he coached a good game here. But again, I think it's more of an indictment on him. And I think we've done this for many years. Like when they lost to the Niners in the divisional round, our defense was playing great, and we thought, hey, he learned his lesson. And then last year, the last 4 games, they played great. Hey, he learned his lesson. Same thing this year. Hey, he learned his lesson. So I guess to me, that's why I'm disappointed. Again, I thought he's coached a great defense the last several weeks, but I think it's just more of an indictment because I think we do have the talent to be good enough on defense, and these last 4 weeks have shown that.
Appreciate the call, Clay. We were talking, obviously, about the kicker situation. We can continue talking about that as well. Let me get to some of your reaction rolling in on the talk and text line here. Rich in Greendale saying, I went to the Bears game. I watched Carlson during pregame. No pressure. He was missing 35 to 40 yarders with the tee. He's not it. Aaron in Fredonia weighing in. I'm frustrated that a kicker who has been an issue since July played a major role in being knocked out of the playoffs. There's a lot of legit reasons to miss going to the Super Bowl, especially for a young team like this. But a field goal kicker should never be the reason why. It's too basic of a position. That from Aaron in Fredonia. Gabe.
Did Anders missing that kick, is that letting Jordan Love off the hook a little bit here? Last four possessions. Yeah. Money on the table, Chew. 6 of 12, 30 yards, 2 picks.
Did you think he was going to drive him down?
I did.
Yeah. I did. I thought, honestly, I honestly thought, Chew? He was going to get him in field goal range, and then Carlson was going to miss the kick.
Well, that doesn't bode well either.
No.
But, I mean, honestly,
I think you're making a very interesting point.
So many people are focusing on Carlson missing that kick. And I think it's because they're focusing on that, they're letting Jordan off the hook. Like, I'm not saying Jordan Love sucks. I'm saying he sucked in this moment.
They competed on the road with the second best team in the NFL. With the youngest roster in the NFL since when? 1970-something?
Yeah.
Or 80-something?
I mean, the youngest to win a playoff game.
We're set up. We're set up to be the next Kansas City Chiefs. Where you're relevant every single year. You're not going to win it all, and you're not going to get there all the time, but they are set up. We were 2-5. We were looking at Caleb Williams being the next quarterback of the Green Bay Packers.
Wait, what?
And now,
time out.
That's a stretch.
I was like, when did that
Wait a minute, Jen.
And
was it you?
On a Friday
Hold on,
when I was
timeout. Josh, can I get a timeout real quick?
You want a 30 or a full?
We have a timeout.
You want a 30
I want
or
a full.
All right, full. Let's go.
Jen, you were saying early in the season that we might want to start watching college football to see what the USC quarterback looks like.
Wait a minute. I don't think that was in regards to Jordan Love, was it? I feel like I've been
early in the year.
So can someone help me with this? I am not having any memory of this.
Don't lie.
We did put one of our good employees to work here to have a draft day countdown, and we were talking about top 5 pick. Does that mean we could get a quarterback to replace the one who doesn't seem?
I believe Chewy was the one who mentioned Williams by name. It was a conversation. I don't know if we ever actually believed, even at 2 and 5, that they would have the number 1 pick.
Gabe, I'm coming back there in about 3 weeks, and I will punch
conversation.
You want to talk intimidation?
Threat of physical violence. I thought we were trying to get away from that.
Audrey, this is
we were
Bush.
separating ourselves from that narrative, Chew. Good grief. Don't double down now. We're almost out of the woods.
We were having the conversation about potentially drafting a quarterback at 2 and 5 because, maybe they end up with a top 5 pick. And if that happens, we were having that conversation. I don't know if we actually specifically had the conversation about Caleb Williams and having the number 1 pick.
800-990-3776. Matthew wants to know when Chewy became the guy who just wants both teams to have fun.
That's true.
Yeah, you are kind of doing that right now. Like, hey, they were close. Not only were they close, they had a lead. They were up by 7. They're by a touchdown going in the fourth quarter.
They tried their hardest, though.
Yeah, they tried real hard. Yep. Lots of effort. A for effort.
Proud of the effort the boys put forward.
Out to the phone lines. Jeff in Minneapolis, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I'm most blank about blank.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Doing good.
Okay, so I agree with both Chewy and Gabe. First of all, what I'm most happy about is LaFleur, and I've been a critic of Matt LaFleur this year, but LaFleur and Jordan Love's response to this loss. And what I mean by that is Matt LaFleur is already setting the tone for next year by pointing out that nothing is guaranteed. And I think that was a great thing for him to say, meaning next year you can't just show up. You got to get ready and work hard, and I thought that was great. Jordan Love, in his press conference, he was just totally honest. He said he committed the mortal sin of throwing late across the middle. What have we seen with Jordan Love? His biggest, I think, ability and strength, and I hope he has it for his entire career, is his ability to learn from mistakes and his humility. I agree with Gabe. Jordan Love did not play well in the fourth quarter. He played tight. And I agree with Chewy that we got to look at big picture. This team is set up in a really good spot. My question to everybody, and maybe we can start with you, Chewy, is what do you do with Joe Barry? That's my question. Thanks, guys, so much for your time.
What do you do with him? Well, they're going to bring him back. That's for sure.
How do you solve a problem like Joe Barry, is I believe what he's asking.
No,
I still think there's a chance he doesn't come back because I think that Matt LaFleur inserting himself more into the defense was part of the reason that they turned around. And I don't know if he thinks that, hey, I just can't keep doing this for an entire season. I got an offense I got to continue to grow. I got an offense I got to worry about. I got to have somebody that I can absolutely trust on that side.
I know. The problem with that, Gabe, is you set yourself back a little bit because now you got to learn a new scheme. I mean, look at Detroit. Detroit 2 years ago, I think, was around the worst defense in the league, and now they've gotten better this year. So I just don't want – because I think that – look, they're going to have a chance to win it all next year. And I just don't want –
So have you changed? Jen asked you the question. You skirted it earlier.
No, I know.
Can the Packers win a Super Bowl with Joe Barry as the defensive coordinator? That is something that you are on the record saying that they cannot do.
If he doesn't revert back to his keep everything in front of you and –
But he did do that on that final drive.
Yeah, but I'm just looking at the one play that really, really hurt him was that McCaffrey run of whatever, 40, 50 yards. Darn it, you have to have a safety that can go up when it's one-on-one with a running back and at least hold him up till he gets help. You can't whiff. That was a huge play in the game. Huge play in the game. You got to make that tackle. You have to make that play. And I know he had a nice play against Dallas a week earlier, but, dude, in this league, you have to be consistent.
You bringing him back? You bringing back Campbell?
No, I'm not.
No. I'm letting Savage walk.
Upgrading. Well, I'm upgrading Savage, and I'm upgrading Devondre Campbell.
Yeah.
Whether that's McDuffie or whoever, but those are two positions that need to be upgraded.
Well, Sunday, a very big day for Devondre Campbell's wife, who famously during the season said, I can't wait for the season to be over.
Now it is. Congratulations.
Freezing cold take there. 800-990-3776. Lots of reaction rolling in. Joe in Georgia saying, I'm most heartbroken about the loss, and there's zero chance I care who wins the rest of the way. Can't stand either NFC team left. They are both rivals, which leads me to the conversation we're going to have next here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy as the Detroit Lions punch their ticket to the NFC Championship game. How are we feeling about that this morning? Feeling good? Are they still the plucky team that you're like, oh, good for them? They haven't won in decades, multiple decades. Or is it like, bleep those bleeps? That's next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Best place to shop diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee. Of course, it's only at the Jewelry Center. Their team of specialists can help you bring her dream ring to life. They did for me. Maybe you're somebody who just doesn't have that right idea. You kind of have, but not sure. Well, head over to our Pinterest page. Bring some of those ideas in off the Pinterest page, and the team of specialists, the great team that Dean has assembled at the Jewelry Center, always going to be able to point you in the right direction. Maybe you're looking to gift something else. Look, we're closing in on it fast. Valentine's Day, going to be here before you know it. So maybe you're thinking about gifting some stud earrings. Jewelry Center has options, because of course they have options. 2, 3, 4 karat total weight diamonds. More options there as well with lab and naturally mined options. Learn more about the diamond jewelry selection at shoptjc.com or stop in at the Jewelry Center at any one of their 3 locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington. Make sure you tell them that Chewy and Gabe sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We got a few accidents to deal with right now. We've got southbound 43 south of Silver Spring off on the right shoulder. Another one on 94 eastbound on the Hawley Road off-ramp. And then we've got another one on 175 southbound. This is the northern part of the stadium interchange. Right at Wells Street. Car off on the left shoulder. Slow speeds no matter where you go, though, because of the bad conditions. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, a chance for snow, freezing drizzle, breezy with a high of 34. Tonight, cloudy with a mix likely later on, a low of 31. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
The Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast is sponsored by Celsius Energy Drink, and I am here to tell you it makes a huge difference in my mornings. With a unique blend of essential energy and key vitamins, Celsius is your partner to an active lifestyle. My favorite, the Peach Vibe. Learn more at Celsius.com and pick up Celsius Energy Drinks today.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Hi, everyone. John Miller here from PDS, a Converge company. PDS has been providing technology solutions and transforming IT for area companies for over 30 years. Today, we are helping organizations integrate digital workplace strategies that are giving today's worker the true ability to work from anywhere as they balance work and life both securely and productively. And as HP's largest partner in the area, our combined solutions have never been more important. If you're struggling with this, know we stand ready to help. From ideation to transformation, we can help you evolve your work from anywhere strategy. Learn more at pdsit.net.
This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my favorite go-to drink. That's Carbless. Carbless is a ready-to-drink, handcrafted vodka and tequila cocktail. Even better, it's 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. And listen to this, less carbonation. This leads to less bloat. I can indulge in something delicious without having that health guilt. Carbless is crafted right here in Wisconsin. It has a flavor for everyone, from black raspberry to cranberry, pineapple and lemon, and my favorite, margarita. Find Carbless online and at a retailer near you. Less is more. You can make the decision right now to get lasting relief from that awful joint pain for 2024. Don't go another year compromising because of that pain in your knees or your shoulders. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative, non-surgical pain relief. Your body has what it takes to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue, and QC Kinetics can make it happen. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. Hi, this is Brad Nortman. The future of pain treatments has arrived. Hundreds of board-certified QC Kinetics providers have treated tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or an injury. This is not a Band-Aid. This is a revolutionary treatment that can get you moving again. Get your life back. This is the year that you can decide to fight against that pain. Take the first step and call QC Kinetics now. Get a free consultation scheduled today. Call 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Q Club of Wisconsin is a hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what do you have going on over there?
Gary, we have so much going on. We're still the place to be on game days to catch the green and gold. Book a holiday party in our VIP room, which includes a private pool table, 2 shuffleboard tables, and 4 dartboards. Plus, we got great live music every Saturday night. And of course, we've got our fish fry on Wednesdays and Fridays, where we pile it high!
All happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin, North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Check out qclubofwisconsin.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
His eyeball.
Wait.
Where do I get him?
I just assumed, when I said wait, did you just think it was just a suggestion?
Yeah, pretty much. Typically.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. Though it's easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool.
Careless Whisper?
Great tone.
Okay.
You're not allowed to comment on any great tunes because you obviously do not know any of them or any of the lyrics in any of the songs.
You don't need to know lyrics. You just got to do it.
Okay, I'll take your word for it, Mrs. Jones. So the Lions won yesterday, beating the Buccaneers, headed to the NFC Championship game. How are we feeling about that, Packers fans? We good? We liking this? We're happy for them? They're representing the division. Are they now
that crap?
Are they now the Packers' rival? I mean, again, we talk about revisionist history and how it was all like Vikings and Bears, and now are the Lions the rival since they're the top team? Do they need to have more sustained success in order to get that distinction? Where are we at on the Niners going to the NFC Championship game, Gabe?
Don't care. Just really don't care.
Will not watch?
No, I mean, I'm going to watch. I mean, but the Lions are to me like any other team.
Football.
Yeah, I'm still watching on Sunday.
Well, right. All right.
But to me, the Lions are like any other team playing. They're, okay, the Niners beat the Packers or whatever. But, I mean, if it was the Lions or Buccaneers, didn't matter to me. Like, they're just another team in the NFC.
Except that the Packers beat the Lions on Thanksgiving, gave them a hearty whooping, and it feels like the Packers could have been there, could have done this.
So rank your 4. Mine is, as far as winning the Super Bowl, mine would be Detroit, Baltimore, Kansas City, San Francisco.
Wow, you got Detroit as number 1?
Yeah, that's a good story. I mean, Dan Campbell's great guy.
Who are you?
Love that kind of coach.
What? Every time I think you're going to zig, you zag.
Well, do you think I was going to put San Fran number 1?
No.
No, but I thought the Chiefs, maybe.
No,
I'm sick of the Chiefs, and you know what I'm sick of? I'm just sick of the whole
It's a shame
thing.
that,
Did you miss Jason Kelsey shirtless yesterday at the game?
He didn't miss it. He hated it.
Yeah, what are you doing?
You hate it? Wait, when did he articulate that in the text?
Gabe, Charlene.
Right before
Gabe.
he called you. He was just hot about it right away when he called him this morning.
Self-praise stink you.
P.U.
No,
P.U.,
you're
sorry.
P.U., yes.
That's what he's looking
But he wasn't self-praising. He was brother-praising.
Yeah, sure was.
Did he need to take the shirt off?
Tomato.
Did Ryan Fitzpatrick need to take the shirt off when he was at that one game? No, he did not, but we thank the Lord he did.
Really?
Yeah, that's a reference he's not understanding.
Now, Shefty, I'm fine with. Shefty, I'm fine.
Why are you fine with Shefty taking off his shirt?
Because Shefty's got that kind of confidence. His isn't a look at me. It's like, you know what? I don't have the tightest body around, and I don't care. Here you go.
That's exactly what Jason did.
I don't think so.
He's the funny little
And then he
hefty.
did it on the road. You don't do that on the road, do you?
He was in a suite. Who cares?
Yeah.
And who's going to fight him?
And by the way, Bills fans were then loving him because he went into the crowd, grabbed a sign that a fan was trying to get Taylor Swift's attention, took the sign to T Swift in the suite.
That was the most Wisconsin grab you've ever said, just so you know, by the way. It was the most Wisconsin
But then
grab.
he kept the shirt off because they went to a clip of Taylor, and he's sitting back that he must have been plowed.
You think?
He took a
Yes.
shot from a bowling ball early during the tailgate.
He
That video was
did?
making the rounds. Yeah, he was making the rounds during the Bills tailgate scene.
I can't believe
It
you're
was
out on this.
spectacular.
I thought it was wonderful. I love him so much. I think just like he seems like a really down to earth, fun loving, but also elite, obviously, center in the league. Like how can you be out on anything Jason Kelce does? When he wore that crazy outfit for the parade a few years back when the Eagles won the whole thing, that was another lovely moment. That was another one for the ages.
I never saw it. I'm out on Kansas. You guys are in on Kansas City.
So wait,
I'm
so
You're
enough.
out because you were wrong about T Swift being a distraction.
Oh, it's not over, Gabe. They're not beating Baltimore.
They made it to the.
They're not beating Baltimore.
They made it
What's
to the
line
AFC
there?
Championship game 3.5.
Wait, I can't believe that you're putting the Lions over the Ravens. The Ravens at least look like a juggernaut to
That's
me.
just meatheads sticking with meatheads.
Oh, Dan Campbell biting
Yes,
kneecaps.
thank you, Josh.
Who's
I'm
a
not
look at
taking
me
any
guy?
offense to that whatsoever.
You think Campbell's will look at me?
Oh yeah.
He is not.
Oh, this is interesting. Let's see him wriggle out of this one.
Dan Campbell is known for his wild things he says. He's screaming on the sidelines. He's very much he wants to be the face. That's his whole
No,
thing.
he doesn't scream. He's the most cerebral guy on the sidelines out of all the coaches. Maybe not Andy.
That's the first time anyone has ever referenced
Wait, Dan
biting
Campbell's
kneecaps
more
guy.
cerebral than Andy Reid?
On the field, not in the press conference room.
Oh, look who it is. Jason Kelce living his best life at Chiefs-Bills game on Get Up above us.
Andy Reid, one of the best offensive minds of all time, surefire Hall of Fame coach, coached you.
Yes.
And Dan Campbell's more cerebral.
Yeah, we got him.
On the sideline.
We got
No,
him back
Andy's
that line.
pretty cerebral. You know, it'd be great if Andy took his shirt off on the sideline. Now that I would not have a problem with.
The guy who's making, just so I'm clear, the guy who's making sound effects about how he drinks his coffee is not look at me.
Who, Adam?
Wow.
Dan Campbell.
Where did Adam even come from?
Dan
I thought you were
Campbell.
talking about when Adam was choking on the coffee while he was on the air.
No, famously,
What the hell does Dan Campbell have to do with coffee?
Famously, one of his quotes in the press conference is he starts his day with 2 shots of espresso. Bump, bump.
All right.
And then he's got the 40-ounce coffee, and he's drinking that. He's doing all these different things. He's making sound effects and noises during his press
I
conference.
do like the bump bump, though. Can we get back to the rankings? Josh, give me your rankings of the Final Four.
Ravens, Niners, Lions, and then whoever's left. I forgot
The Chiefs?
Chiefs, yeah. They won too much.
Whoever's left, there's 4 for the love of God. Gabe, your Final Four.
I'm ranking these in the order of who I want to win.
Wait, no. Who's best? Oh, shoot.
No, this is who you want to win.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we can do that then. I thought we were doing who you think the best team is.
No, who do you
the
want
best
to
team
win?
is the Ravens.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
But who do you want to win?
the Ravens.
Yeah.
I'm a Lamar stan. I want to see him get a Super Bowl.
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Yes, but I think after that, guys, I might be on Lions.
Yes. What's wrong with the Lions?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Well, that's what I was wondering. If I was breaking some sort of code by wanting another team in the division.
Nah, they're still cute.
Yeah, they're cute, fun.
So they should get the
I
one.
want to pinch their cheeks.
Get their one. Yeah.
Good for you.
Get the one and then go away. Right? That's kind of what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
looking
fine.
for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the Eagles.
Yes.
Get the one, go away. All right, fair enough. 800-990-3776. We are asking you all morning long. I'm most blank about blank. Frustrated, angry, confused, annoyed, excited, optimistic, happy. All of those things. Just tell us what it is regarding. 800-990-3776. We've got Rob Domofsky coming up next.
It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. It was an issue for me. I didn't even realize it. And that's where Mentality, local healthcare facilities specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best, came in to help me out. I thought I was just getting more tired, groggy, just because I was waking up earlier in the day and I didn't have the energy because my sleep schedule had changed. No, it turns out my testosterone levels were low. I found out because I got a blood panel done with Mentality. Within a week, my results got back to me. Turns out the levels were low. And now I'm on a customized testosterone treatment plan that helps me have that energy, feel like myself, and get through my day with the energy that I need. That can be the same for you. And it's not one size fits all. It's a customized testosterone treatment plan just for you. Go to lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Find out more at lowtusa.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We got a few accidents to deal with right now. We've got southbound 43 south of Silver Spring off on the right shoulder. Another one on 94 eastbound on the Hawley Road off ramp. And then we've got another one on 175 southbound. This is the northern part of the stadium interchange. Right at Wells Street. Car off on the left shoulder. Slow speeds no matter where you go, though, because of the bad conditions. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, a chance for snow, freezing drizzle, breezy with a high of 34. Tonight, cloudy with a mix likely later on, a low of 31. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
What's better than free? How about play free all year? This January at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you can win over $2,000 in reward play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games to earn prize drawing entries. Then stop by each Thursday night in January to see if you're a winner. $400,000 in prizes is up for grabs. Over 40 winners each week. Yeah, free is for me. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old and a club member to play.
You can make the decision right now to get lasting relief from that awful joint pain for 2024. Don't go another year compromising because of that pain in your knees or your shoulders. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative, non-surgical pain relief. Your body has what it takes to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue, and QC Kinetics can make it happen. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. Hi, this is Brad Nortman. The future of pain treatments has arrived. Hundreds of board-certified QC Kinetics providers have treated tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or an injury. This is not a Band-Aid. This is a revolutionary treatment that can get you moving again. Get your life back. This is the year that you can decide to fight against that pain. Take the first step and call QC Kinetics now. Get a free consultation scheduled today. Call 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Whether it's expanding your business, upgrading your equipment, or unexpected challenges, you can score big with Swish Funding, the slam dunk solution for your funding needs. No matter what your personal credit history, if you've got at least $25,000 in monthly revenue and been in business for at least a year, qualifying is easier than a layup with no collateral needed. Slam dunk your financial goals today. Go to swishradio.com. That's swishradio.com.
Oh, not this song again.
Hello, Sarah. Real quick, if you had to choose, would you listen to elevator music all day or deal with payroll compliance?
Oh, payroll compliance for sure.
Wait, really?
Staying compliant is so much easier with Gusto. Gusto automatically calculates my taxes and files with all the right agencies for me.
That actually sounds great.
Hold up. Can Gusto help my small business with compliance too?
Of course they can.
Choose payroll compliance without the ups and downs. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
ESPN's #1 source for green and gold information.
What's the biggest mistake that new quarterbacks make? Turnovers. And he hasn't had it.
And mating rituals.
The Shed Aquarium in Chicago was one of my favorite school field trips, and I believe there were dolphins there, but they left that out.
Our most musically inclined and bald guest.
Wow, I'm a little, it's only love. It's only love.
It's Rob Domofsky on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Is this the last time we will hear from our friend Rob Domofsky, Gabe? Is that the arrangement? Is that the plan? Well, now I'm most sad about that. Rob Domofsky, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We've been asking our loyal listeners all morning. I'm most blank about blank. How would you fill in that Mad Lib?
I am most optimistic about Jordan Love.
Even though he didn't play well?
Yes.
Because we do have people on the talk and text line who are saying, how can we be sure that it wasn't just a blip as opposed to an example or a precursor for sustained success?
Yeah, I don't think 9 games, Jen, or whatever it was, where he was 22 touchdowns, 1 interception is a blip. I think he proved it, and I think he's only going to get better. That's the thing. Is like, and I think here's the thing too. In some ways, he's actually further ahead than where Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre were at this point in their starting careers, because he's already got 2 playoff games of experience under his belt. So when they make it next year, they have this bank of experience, or he has this bank of experience for which to rely on. Because look, if you remember, Rodgers has the 09 game in Arizona where he throws the pick right away, I think, on the first series. They end up, losing that incredible shootout game. And then the next year they win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that they're going to go on that run again next year. But what I'm saying is that the value that he got in terms of playoff experience combined with how he performed from, say, November 10th or whatever it was on, I think has to have you feeling pretty good.
Rob, I'm going to give you a list of some names here. You tell me if you think they'll be on the roster next year. A.J. Dillon.
Let me ask you this, Chewy. Is this what I think or what I would do?
This is what you think.
Okay.
A.J. Dillon. Aaron Jones.
Okay, slow down.
Why?
Chewy, slow down for a second.
What?
Well, because I think you guys are just a little off, all right?
Give him time to react to it.
Yes.
Stop yelling at me. It's Monday. All right, we'll do this again. A.J. Dillon.
No, he will not be on the roster next year.
There it is.
Aaron Jones.
Yes, I believe that he will. I believe he showed enough over showed his importance, and I don't believe that necessarily you can blame the injuries on age.
Darnell Savage.
That's a tough one because you can't replace everyone. I'm going to go against the grain and say yes.
Devondre Campbell.
No.
And David Bakhtiari.
I'm going to say yes with a pay cut. And here's the thing, Chewy, about Bakhtiari that I think is important is because he has no March roster bonuses or nothing guaranteed in the offseason, they can actually wait all the way up till the start of the season. They don't necessarily have to make a decision on him like by March or June or any of that. Now they will have to carry, if they don't restructure his contract, they will have to carry his cap number on the roster for as long as he is here. But I do think they find a way to get him back for one more go at a much reduced pay if he's willing to do that.
You don't think he wants to go to the Jets and play with his buddy? Because he could refuse the pay cut, right, Rob? He could say, no, I'm not doing it.
100%. He could refuse the pay cut, at which point they would probably cut him and designate him as a post-June 1 cut. If he refuses the pay cut, then yeah. But I think if the Packers are sitting there looking at it, I think they would probably like to try to make it work one more time with him under a reduced salary. But you're right. If he doesn't want to take that and he wants to go to the Jets, then I think that's very feasible also.
The one name that I think Chewy left off his list, Joe Barry.
He's coming back.
So, yes. In my post-game coverage, one of the categories that we write off of the game is bold prediction for next week. Now, normally during the season, that is something, game-related. Well, for me, next week obviously was the offseason, and my bold prediction was that Joe Barry is back. Now, I do wonder, and I say this maybe with a hint of that this might be happening, if they are exploring other options to see what they could get, and if they don't come up with anything that they deem better, then they bring Joe Barry back. I'm not saying for sure that's happening, but my suspicion is that they may be back channeling to see what other options they would have at that spot and then make their decision.
Oh, the old monkey branch. where you don't let go of the branch you have until you got the other branch in your hand. You're swinging from branch to branch.
Okay.
That's a
I've
Jen.
never heard that expression, Jen. I
That's
like
a
that.
Jen original. You can use it if you want. Rob, a lot of conversation this morning about Anders Carlson. And Gabe thinks that actually the miss by Anders, it was a very interesting point by him, took some of the heat off of Jordan Love for having a less than stellar fourth quarter. We can discuss that as well. But why is the leash for this guy so long? Because I was saying there's only 32 of these positions. You can't tell me that this kid, and he is a kid, is one of the best 32 kickers out there right now in the country. Like, you can't. So why are they just so committed to him?
Well, I mean, the obvious answer is, Jen, that they drafted him. But, here's the thing. You can draft a guy, and they could have, at any point this season, because of the practice squad elevation rules and how liberal it is, you could have brought in a veteran kicker, put him on the practice squad, and for 3 weeks with each of those guys, you could have made an elevation. And honestly, I'm surprised that that's not the route they went, that they did not go that route once they got late in the year and brought in a veteran guy. Like, I'm pretty sure that they didn't even try out or bring a kicker in for a visit. I most of the time get those league wires that have the tryouts. You'll notice sometimes I tweet those when there's interesting guys that they've worked out. I never once saw this season them even work out a kicker, which tells you that Brian Gutekunst, was wholly invested because he drafted him. Now, they held on to him probably because they think he has long-term potential, which is fine. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that, although I don't necessarily think you should ever draft a kicker or a punter, but that's a topic for another show probably. But what I do have a problem with is not trying to at least explore other options. And remember all year we asked about the rotating right guards with Sean Ryan and John Runyon, and it was, we want competition. We want competition. Well, why didn't you want that from the kicker? That part of it will just never make sense to me, how they handled Anders Carlson the whole way.
But a little context here, Rob. Mason Crosby.
Oh, here we go.
His field goal percentage, his rookie year was 79.5. Ryan Longwell's was 80, and Carlson's this year was, I think, 80 and 81.5. So that might have something to do with it.
It might, and I think that's a fair point, Chewy. I do think, though, if you looked at the league averages now versus what they were then, 80% was really good back then. If you were an 80% kicker, you were good. Now, 80% is probably, in the bottom third, bottom quarter of the league.
And I also think, Rob, it's worth mentioning, again, the success that these other guys had in college. And the problem I think that a lot of people have with Anders Carlson is that he didn't have that track record of success in college to build off of. So you're waiting to see kind of like that. Yes. You're waiting to see that leap, and you just haven't seen it.
I think part of this is on Rich Bisaccia for two reasons. One, he lobbied for this guy, for Anders, bad. He had history with the family. We know the Daniel Carlson connection with the Raiders. He recruited these guys when he was a college coach. I mean, and then so it's on Carlson, or it's on Bisaccia for that. It's also on Bisaccia for not being able to fix this. I know not every special teams coach is also a kicking specialist, and that's fine. Maybe your specialty is scheme and play design and all that, but you better find some way to get this guy fixed, and they didn't do that.
Rob, what's your take on Lucas Van Ness after year one?
Gabe's just dying to jump in with a question here.
No, don't worry about it. We're fine.
Oh, am I holmgren you? Am I ball hogging?
No, keep going, Chew.
I'm sorry.
Gabe, your name's going to end up going third on this Jen Chewy. Lucas Van Ness. I think there were flashes. I don't know how many sacks he had, but I bet you most of them were on third down, which is important. I think there's promise there. I think it was typical of most guys that are drafted at that position who aren't Aiden Hutchinson or the top guy at that pick. I think there's room for development. I don't know that it's all that different than Rashawn Gary and the way he started off. So. I think it was an okay rookie year for him, considering he was a part-time player. It's interesting. I don't think you had Preston Smith on the list, right, Chewy, of people that would or wouldn't be back. I think part of what what they think of Lucas Van Ness and what his growth potential is from year 1 to year 2 could impact whether they bring Preston Smith back. Now, Preston, I think, had a pretty good year, and I think Preston's so reliable. He almost never misses games. And how many times this season did you hear when there was people addressing the team that it was Preston Smith? So I think he's got great value there. But I do think he could be a guy that might be on that list of 50-50 whether they're back or not.
Well, so that's the guy I wanted to ask about is Rashawn Gary. Are we chalking this up to he's coming back from the ACL, doesn't have the stamina? Because, I mean, he had the 3 sacks on Thanksgiving to get his total to 8.5. He had a half sack the following week against Kansas City, and zip since then.
I think there's a couple elements to that, Gabe. I think, for one, I don't know that Joe Barry did much to scheme him up and get him open. We sort of heard that they were going to move guys around, move guys around a little bit more this year, Quay Walker being one of them. And I don't know that we really saw that, right? Like, did we actually see a lot of that, or was it just a bunch of 4-man rushes with Rashawn Gary, either getting chipped or attention focused, right? I mean, Chewy, you're agreeing with that I don't think we saw a lot of unique. I think that's part of it.
I thought they would, treat him as kind of a special player, and they never really put him in a position to do that. And I think that's what this team needs, a Bosa or someone with just high energy. I don't know if Van Ness is that guy, but, I mean, you see what a disruptor, the Bosas and players like that are. Right. That's what this team really needs to make it to the next step.
Well, and maybe Rashawn is that, Gabe. To your point, I think the ACL, certainly you always hear that you're better the year after the year that you return. So I do think there's something to that. I think they paid him on potential and what they think future growth will be. But here's the other thing too, right? This pass defense has had its moments of good and bad. Same with the run defense. But did you watch Detroit yesterday? I don't believe their pass defense is ranked very high. I think they were in the bottom part of the league. But what happened at the end of that game? They blitzed from everywhere, right? They blitzed safeties. They blitzed off the edge. They blitzed corners. I don't think I'd have to go back and watch the series. I watched it once again from the Packers game on the last drive. I think they might have sent 5 one time. But we just, if your numbers aren't great, you got to do something different. And that includes doing something with Rashawn and moving guys around and sending unique blitzes and things like that. And I just don't think we ever really saw that.
Last thing before we let you go, there was a sentiment on social media from a lot of fans Saturday night and into Sunday saying, I'm just so relieved that we won't be dealing with the drama of the quarterback position this offseason as we have in so many off seasons prior. What will be the dominant storyline this offseason for the Green Bay Packers?
Oof. That's a great question. I think it reminds me a little bit of 2006, Mike McCarthy's first year when they were 4-8 and they won those last 4. And we heard that whole offseason. They finished 8-8. They won their last 4. We kept hearing about how there was so much momentum going on that would carry over into next season. So I'm very curious to see how much talk we hear about the carryover effect.
He's Rob Domofsky. He joins us each and every Monday during the Packers season. Rob, I certainly hope that we can come to some agreement, some arrangement where we get to hang out with you a little more often, even as we are not in Packers season.
As long as the paychecks keep coming, I'll keep logging on.
Yeah.
I actually thought that there was a slight pregnant pause there, which was fantastic because it was like, let me get back to you on that.
I love the honesty of, hey, you guys keep paying me, I'll keep showing up. I love it.
It's like when someone asks me to go somewhere and I'm like, well, maybe.
Whatever you put on. It's like I have a friend who's a caddy on the PGA Tour, and he had some really weird logo on his visor. And I'm like, what is that? He's like, they paid me to wear it. So I put it on my head.
Cash is king.
He's Rob Domofsky. You can, of course, follow him on social media for all things green and gold all year round. You guys remember me talking about going to the State Fair and buying a sauna? That's right, a sauna.
Thanks, really
we had a little chuckle here on the show. It's actually been one of the best purchases I've made in a while. The infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas, Uber-Ruba, that's right, Chew. It feels great after my workouts. I feel extra energy and flexibility. I've gained so much from my sauna. My skin feels better. I sleep better. The detoxification process is so worth it. And I sleep better. I said that, right? My husband came home from being in San Francisco for the game. He does not feel well. Got a little bit of a cold. Last night, went downstairs, sat in the sauna for 30 minutes, just trying to detoxify from the travel and from whatever bug he picked up. And look, you can have the same benefits at home with a Good Health sauna. Go to their website, find the infrared sauna that is perfect for you and your family at goodhealthsaunas.com, goodhealthsaunas.com, and tell them Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Brewers win!
Get more from your live baseball experience with the 2024 Brewers Ticket Plan. On sale now. Don't miss more exclusive Brewers season seat holder rewards, like your very own batting practice session, more can't-miss action, and more access to the game you love. It's your ticket to being a VIP Brewers fan this season. Plus, you'll enjoy savings on ticket prices you can't get anywhere else. Learn more at brewers.com/ticket plans.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. If you've been cold in your own home, do not suffer through one more winter in a cold and drafty home. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Plus, a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Tell them I told you to call and get an additional $250 off your project. Go to universalwindowsdirect.com, and you'll be saying, I love my windows.
With your Saganiac Planning Marquette recap, I'm Ashton Rotman. After trailing for the first half and part of the second half on Saturday against St. John, Stevie Mitchell puts Marquette ahead for good.
Kolek already in the front court to Mitchell. He's in the lane. He'll go to the basket. He'll lay it up and in. Marquette up a deuce. First lead since 22-20.
And they'd hold on to the lead, but just barely, beating St. John 73-72, their first win on the road in the Big East this season. Next up, Marquette travels to DePaul on Wednesday night.
Who makes dental and vision insurance simple? That's easy. Delta Dental of Wisconsin. If you ask yourself, who encourages you to use your dental and vision benefits for preventative care, provides quick service, offers access to the largest provider networks, and helps you save money when you need more than a checkup, there's only one answer. Definitely Delta Dental. For more information, call Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, named synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Hey, this is Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. One of the best decisions I made recently was getting an infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas. They're a local business that's been around for 2 decades, based right in Appleton and Waukesha. Good Health Saunas are easy to install, cost as little as 25 cents a day, and include a true lifetime warranty. Even firefighters all across the country trust Good Health Saunas for sweating smoke out of their skin after fighting fire. Learn more at goodhealthsaunas.com. That's goodhealthsaunas.com.
If you're like most people, you've had your fair share of financial questions. Questions like, can I afford my son's travel hockey team? What if my daughter doesn't get that soccer scholarship? Will I be able to enjoy golf in retirement? At Empower, we know these questions can be stressful. We're here to help answer your what ifs and empower what's next. Join 18 million Americans and take control of your financial future. Start today at empower.com.
Take your new year to the next level with live experiences from Vivid Seats. Score tickets for all basketball, hockey, and pro football games. Plus, with a 100% buyer guarantee, Vivid Seats always has your back. See every buzzer beater, touchdown, and shootout live and in person with great deals on great seats. Plus, with Vivid Seats rewards, you can earn with every purchase, like surprise seat upgrades, birthday discounts, free tickets, and more. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Ready to conquer the Midwest's premier winter playground? Then start planning a visit to Granite Peak. With over 200 acres of skiable terrain, Granite Peak has something for everyone, from beginners to seasoned pros, park skiers to mogul fanatics, and everything in between. Soar to new heights on their state-of-the-art chairlifts and warm up in the cozy historic chalet with roaring fireplaces and stunning views. A legendary winter adventure begins at Granite Peak. Don't miss out. Visit skigranitepeak.com to book your winter vacation now, and for more information, Granite Peak. Legendary winters, legendary fun.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What do we do? Where do we go from here?
We've talked about insulation, we've talked about fantasy camp, and now we've talked about Burning Man. We've hit for the cycle in the first 5 minutes of the show.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
Your next hangout spot is found right in Waukesha. The Q Club of Wisconsin is the perfect place to catch a game, play some games, and grab a drink. Bocce courts, dartboards, foosball tables, and of course, pool tables. 10 of them. Plus, the Q Club of Wisconsin has its best fish fries on Wednesdays and Friday nights, and you know they just pile it high. Check out the live music on Saturday and stop in for brunch every weekend starting at 9 a.m. It's all happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin on North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Visit qclubwi.com or like them on Facebook.
So much reaction rolling in today. We really appreciate everybody voicing their opinions on the green and gold loss, the end of the season, etc. Let's go out to the phone lines. Brenna in Illinois has been waiting patiently to get their thoughts in. Good morning, Brenna.
Good morning, Jen. It's Brina. Hi.
Hi, Brina.
I love you guys. You got Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
I do live in Illinois, but I am a Wisconsin Packers girl for life, forever. Wisconsin, love the Packers, love Jordan Love. Jen, I did just want to say, I know how you feel about possibly the Lions going all the way. I don't want to disagree with you, but my Packers heart would break. I can't see the Lions win. I just am that type of person. And I'm sorry for that, but no Lions. I'm sorry, Lions.
But to me, I guess it would be funny because, again, I haven't cared about the Lions really much in my Packer lifetime. It's more been about, and we've had the debate, is it the Lions or is it the Vikings? Is it the Bears? The Lions winning a Super Bowl before the Bears or Vikings in my lifetime?
Oh, my goodness.
Objectively hilarious. Objectively hilarious.
I do want to read you something I just saw on the internet. It says, how about America coming together to root for the Lions in the NFC Championship game to keep us from having to watch Brock Purdy throw 30 checkdowns in the Super Bowl? Now, I could get behind that. I think I'm rooting for the Lions, guys. I know it's crazy. I know, but again, there is that whole transitive property that we only adhere to when it's convenient for our arguments, so let me go ahead and put that out there. But the transitive property of if the Lions win the Super Bowl and the Packers beat the Lions, that'll even solidify more to me that the Packers are right there, that this Packers team is right there. And I know that the field changes every year and you don't face the same teams, but if the Lions win the whole dang thing,
so that means the Giants going to win the Super Bowl then?
The Giants this year? No, that could not have happened.
Well, why not? I mean, if the Packers beat the Lions,
only when convenient for my theories.
The Packers.
It's interesting how you just ignored that part of the conversation.
No, the transitive property crap, I don't subscribe to that crap. We also had a caller who's like, yeah, NFC North pride, I'm rooting for the Lions. Like, that's not a thing.
It's not?
I've never heard, no, it's not, because those are your rivals. Nobody was rooting for the Vikings when Brett Favre had him in the NFC Championship game. Nobody's rooting for the Bears when they were in the Super Bowl.
Okay, but hear me out on this. For a very long time, the Packers have been accused of beating up on a bad division. If anything now, you can argue, look how good we are. Look at how good the NFC North is, quote-unquote, becoming. That is a strong argument, and I am taking it to the bank.
We've got a massive weight, and it's the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, anchor.
They pull us down.
Anchor.
It's all
concrete.
Yeah, but they make us laugh. It's all about laughing.
We are laughing. We're having a good time.
The motto of this show, apparently. Thanks for hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Wildy and Tosh is next on ESPN Wisconsin. I am sure they will continue giving you the opportunity to react and reflect on the end of the Packers season.
We do have a few issues out on the roads still. An accident southbound 43 south of Silver Spring. Another one on Highway 175 southbound right about at Wells Street. The left lane is blocked with that. And then a couple of issues right around Highway 26 in Jefferson County. We've got accidents and cars off the roadway there as well in both directions. Icy covered situation on the Rock